Yay, okay. So I'm Ty, Alicia's business partner. We do majority of all of our flips together. I've been a broker. Actually, I was at John L. Scott here. Like 15 years ago. I've been an agent for almost 20 years. I started when I was 12, okay? So I've built teams and have been able to support and help agents strategize and create business plans to help them grow. So those are my passion, and I clumped them all together. Step number one, I'm gonna talk about how to buy your first rental, buy your first flip, what does a BRRRR look like, things like that, how to find them. So the first step is just identifying the amount investable, right? You want to be able to have a chunk of money on the side to be able to get the loan. First of all, you got to have a down payment. And what does that look like? Sometimes Washington State, the houses are so expensive and the down payments are so high that a lot of investors go out of state, right? They go to Montana or Wyoming or different states. I had a friend, she was a pharmacist, and she was investing in rental properties outside of state, and they were literally $90,000 a house. And so she was like, well, I can't afford it here. I'm gonna go outside of state. She picked up 7 homes in the course of 2 years. They're about $90,000 each. She put in $20,000 to rehab them, and she was cash flowing, right? She was looking for cash flow. She had a certain number of doors she wanted. Then when she created the income, she came over here and started buying rental properties over here. For me, each rental, I have about 6 months reserved for every single rental. Just because if the tenant moves out, if I have to repair a roof, if there's a water leak, whatever the cause is, I have that saving for that house. Majority of the properties we buy for our rehabs, it's under an LLC. So there's a lot of first steps before you go shopping, right? The first step is your credit. Because hard money, they look at credit too, right? So first step is credit. Second is, what kind of loan you're gonna get. And then the third step is, where you're gonna invest. LLC, talk to your tax accountant so that they can shelter and protect you. If something happens to that property, it's sheltered in an LLC. It's not gonna come after you personally. So things like that, just taking those baby steps. Because I know, all those Instagram and HGTV, all those fun things that happen, you just want to jump in and do it, but taking those baby steps is going to protect you long term. Duplex, fourplex is considered residential, and then there's also commercial, 6-unit plus apartments, warehouse, restaurant, office building, retail, so on. So residential is not the only way to invest. There's also commercial. Our family, we wanted to open a pho restaurant, right? I don't know if you know, it's downtown Renton. So we wanted to open a restaurant, and my husband's dad was like, well, we have to own the building, because once we establish our restaurant, landlord can kick us out. So they went shopping and they found this spot, and it was a travel agency, and it was for sale. This entire building back then for $450,000. They purchased it, and it was attached 4 other units. And so they had a business and a real estate at the same time. That building is worth over $2 million right now. He sold the restaurant, but still is retaining the lease of the building. 4 units down, getting paid 4 times, right? And now they're retired, they travel, they just live a very peaceful, non-stressful life. I've met retired people, and their Social Security and their disability all together, they're making like $1,800 a month without investing. That's what's gonna happen to our kids and you if you don't take your financial life seriously. And I'm so passionate about it because, during the recession back then in 2007, I bought all these homes for $200,000 a piece. People are buying cars for $200,000. The tenant's paying for my mortgage, and I have extra money cushioned into my bank account every month. So these things are so important to focus, and it's so important to start networking and getting to know other people who are doing it so that you guys can learn. So steps to find an investment. This is the fun part, because people are always like, where do you guys find your deals? Like, where's your deal? Where did you guys find your deals? Well, we have the 10X Real Estate. Alicia, myself, and Francis run the 10X Real Estate. Most of you come to a lot of our events, and it's a lot of fun. Network, get to know people. People are really nice if you just ask. Another way of finding listings, like a lot of people don't think about it, is listings on the MLS 90 days or older. Listings that are falling apart, the traditional buyers don't want it. I have a fun story. Alicia and I, we bought, my client was writing an offer on a house, and they backed out and they didn't want to buy it. They're like, oh, it's too much repair. I don't want it. I go, are you sure? There's like $250,000 spread in here, you know, like, why don't you want it? They didn't want it. It was too much work. And so they terminated the contract, and the agent was so mad. I think he lived in like Bremerton because he didn't want to come through. And then so I was like, okay, maybe we should just buy it, you know? And then I looked at it, and I'm a hardball negotiator, right? And it was in Berrien, and it was $380,000. And the neighbor next door had their house pending at $425, move-in ready. So I told the guy, I said, hey, the neighbor's house is move-in ready in the 4s, and you're in the high 3s. It doesn't make sense. There's about $150,000 worth of remodel here. And so I gave him an offer at $260, and he took it. And Alicia and I went in, got a contractor in, and we sold that house for $800,000. It's something that you have to think about. If you don't think outside the box and you don't push, you're not gonna get it. You just gotta test them out and see. And just over time, just building the confidence of negotiating. And the agent, when I read it, it was like, he's in Bremerton. I'm like, oh, okay. It's like poker. You have a good hand. You know how to play your cards. And so it was an older lady, and she was like, I don't want to deal with it. My husband passed away. Don't want to come back. Just get rid of it. One of our best flips ever. But yeah, it happens. So you guys have to be alert at all avenues, right? The MLS, driving around, contractors to, wholesalers to, just anybody. Anybody's your resource that can bring deals. So drive for dollars, other flippers, okay? This is a big one, you guys. When you go network, right, get to know all the flippers and all the investors out there. Chances are they're doing it for a long time and they have a lot of deals, and they're gonna wanna offload a few. Say that they got 10 under contract, and they wanna just focus on 6 right now because the market's a little bit tough. They may be wanting to let go of their other 4 or 3, right? And so you just come up to them and say, hey, you have any deals that you don't want? My dad and I bought a property that has 2 lots in Seattle from another investor. Happens all the time. Sure, you buy right in this market, and then have the right team to repair it, and also the value, what you're gonna get when you sell it. But when you're making an offer, make sure that you're doing an inspection. Make sure you bring your contractor to the property. Make sure you know how much the repair is and concessions that's needed. The health of the rental market, okay? So if you're buying a rental, right, and you're building your portfolio, you need to go to this website called Rental Meters, or Zillow Rent, Redfin Rent, Rentals.com, Trulia, all these websites, right? And you have to figure out how much is that house going to rent for? Because that's important. Because if you're buying a house and you're burring, right? Buy, renovate. I can't think right now, but you know what I'm talking about. So if you analyze that, you have to run those numbers. And if you're buying a rental, preferably 4-bedroom or more, 3-bedroom gets you less rent. So 3+ bedrooms or more, and 1.5 bath for sure. If you have a 3-1, your rent is going to be a lot lower than a 1.25. So make sure you get that extra bathroom. Kind of relationship we have with our contractors. We love on them and they love on us, and we just help each other out. And it took us a long time to find the right contractor and the right team to take care of us. So congratulations, you just bought your house. So these are the steps. We feel that if you really focus, in 12 months, you can buy 2 houses. If we can do 8, you can do 2, right? Just focus. We're We're closing on a deal tomorrow. Well, no, tomorrow is Sunday, so we can't. So Monday. Okay, a regular guy works full time, and after work, he door knocks. And he found a foreclosure list from the title company. And he door knocks these foreclosure. And he just gave us a deal, Burian, $250. ARV is gonna be $550.
Wow.
And he brought it to us. We might be able to get 6, I don't know, but we'll see. But the numbers look really good. You can't buy a house for $250 these days. No. And this guy inherited this house for free, lived in it, and then never paid a mortgage, or I mean the taxes, because there's no mortgage, right? Never paid taxes. And then we came in and cleaned up his lien and got the house for $250. The house is $250. The lien is $199,000. So when we pulled title, and title was like, did you know the lien is $199,000? And we're like, what? And then we went to him, we're like, did you not know that you owe $199,000? And then we went to negotiate with the city, and the city was like, I don't care. They're like, this guy's gonna be homeless. Can you give him a break on the lien? It's like, he knew, so nope. But they did give us like 15,000 off or something like that. I'm like, so if you can give us 15, you can give us more. Like, come on, help the guy out. And so he's walking away with the house with like just a few $1,000s in his pocket to be able to rent something else out.
Wow.
But crazy.